slightly on the lower side. So overall, you just get a sense that it's broadly in terms of buying that we are seeing as far as any of this broader market space is concerned. Very, very handful of losers, and majority of them are coming in because of the earnings that they have declared. One of the names that is down is Blue Dart. The management will just join us. Mr. Yogesh, CFO and COO at Blue Dart. Okay, he's there with us. Mr. Yogesh Dhingra, CFO and COO at Blue Dart. Sir, as far as sales are concerned, a slight bit of soft momentum in this quarter?
Yes, you're right. We have also indicated in our notes that we have seen the softening trends on the retail vertical on account of a number of reasons. That e-com vertical is now getting more matured and focus is more on bottom line, not on the GMV, which used to be the case earlier. And so yes, once the focus comes more onto the overall profitable sale, then certainly you see that loss-making business is dropped, so which has impacted the overall growth of that business.
Right. As you mentioned, e-commerce, that was the main reason for the softness?
Yeah, that's right. Because on B2B normal core product, we still have a good growth, close to about 9%.
Right. As far as e-commerce is concerned, that's about 25% of your sales. So that will continue to remain at that level now that we are seeing a growth slippage or growth more, normalizing over there.
I think that differs quarter to quarter depending which vertical has the higher share. But certainly yes, it was above 20% and close to that range. But going forward, certainly we'll get into the that kind of path. But yes, for this quarter, it was close to 20.
Right. So as far as e-commerce is concerned, are we seeing a slowdown in the e-commerce, or we are seeing some of the shift going into e-tail logistics company? In-house e-tail logistics company as well.
I think one is they are more focused on cost. So each one of them looking forward to how can they, find a better way of doing things. So another one is that earlier, let's say you are selling basically keeping revenue in mind, and now you are looking at the profitable growth. So certainly you will not sell something which was not profitable earlier. So both the issues are there. One, that it's more looking towards the quality thing, and secondly, everyone is looking at how some of them have their in-house as well. So a combination of all these factors has led to overall re-engineering of the whole thing.
Right. Sir, as far as air logistics is concerned, freight volumes were also just up about 3% versus about 10-11% what it used to be earlier?
You see, overall, if you see earlier, the double-digit growth were there. Now, this time we have a marginal growth. So you will see that improving further once the vertical also gets entire part reconfigured in terms of their quality sales.
Right. As far as the expenses is concerned, or just shifting focus from the bottom line to operating margins declined by 10 basis point YOY despite lower crude oil prices. Any particular expenses that went up?
I think if you look at margins, if you look at quarter one of this year vis-a-vis quarter four of last year, you will see that there is an improvement in the margin. And if one has to compare with the overall 1 year level, still it's close to about 11%. So margins are, I think we have done fairly well, keeping in mind that even with the marginal revenue growth, we are almost at the same profit. So that itself is a great thing in spite of adding another aircraft during this quarter. So you added a lot of cost. In spite of that, you have almost maintained the profit. It's a remarkable achievement.
Right. So as far as employee costs are concerned, they went up slightly higher. Any particular reason?
You see, you must be aware that Payment of Bonus Act has been amended. Now you have to pay higher amount to your employees. That ceiling limit has enhanced. So that extra amount which is there has already been factored, which will be dispersed later.
Right. As far as margins are concerned, they are strongly correlated with volume. So till the time we see a major volume pickup, margin expansion is unlikely.
You see, margin over the last 4-5 years, if you see, we are close to about 11%. And yes, with the increase in volume and GST coming next year, certainly there will be some positive things which will come and help us to improve our margins.
Right. Sir, as far as pickup is concerned in B2B, B2C, when do you expect to see a good pickup coming in?
I think B2B, we have seen some trends which are moving up. And e-com B2C, again, now we are getting into the festival period. Again, it should start moving up. So both
Right.
you will see an upside.
Right. So just a word on e-commerce again. We were investing for the last 2 years into the e-commerce space. Now that it is seeing a slowdown, we would also reduce our investments in the new e-tailing business.
No, I think we normally when we invest, we keep 5-year horizon, not only 1 year or a short-term kind of a thing. So certainly our investments, both for B2B and B2C, would continue as planned.
Right. So, e-commerce slowdown maybe because of the funding crunch that they have, or, people want to focus on profits, as you said. But do you believe that still there is a lot of scope for growth? And even if a couple of e-commerce companies get their own logistics company, still there is a space for Blue Dart in a big way?
Oh, yes. There's a huge opportunity. All that once is re-engineered, you will see a similar kind of growth momentum will come in.
Right. And, over the time we have seen that, something like logistics, if, gone ahead and, given an outsourced or it's largely outsourced, it tends to work in a better manner, even though slightly more expensive. Do you think that is something which people would realize? Because, everybody cannot do logistics for everything.
Yeah, you're right. Certainly the kind of reach, economies and, cost of peace, long-term, yes. Certainly outsourcing may emerge a better option.
Right. So can you also explain how important will be the rollout of GST for a company like you? Just in simple words, how would it change things?
See, post that GST, there will be two scenarios where, let's say, somebody today has got, because of to comply with the various state VAT requirements, say, 29 or 30 such warehousing or billing locations. So they will move to deciding on whether the consumption market is important or production market. So you may see they may downsize to 10 or 9 or 7. And then what they would require is an express service provider like us. So how fast we can take the goods to the end consumer. So that will increase our business. On the other side, the state regulations now, everything and the GST, there will be less of restrictions in terms of movement of goods. Today, you know how much time gets spent on each and every state checkpost. So all that time will be saved. Productivity of the fleet size, trucks will improve. So certainly it will lead to some kind of improvement in terms of cost structures.
Right, and that will lead to a lot of volume pickup as in business for you?
Volume pickup, drop in cost per kilo. So it will be beneficial from both sides.
Right. So also, we are seeing a lot of increased penetration in smaller cities. So that continues to be a growth driver, which has been there for Blue Dart for a while.
Yeah, reach is always something which everybody wants. So the more you get into the smaller cities, everybody would love to deliver and, get business for that. Certainly that helps.
Right. Can you just talk to us about, what's happening as far as the if you could just give us the revenue share. What is the document parcel share? What is the non-document parcel share? And do you expect the pie of non-document parcel to pick up?
Yes, certainly the packages are growing faster overall, but document also. It's, when we say document doesn't mean it's a plain paper, and it's something which we carry is not replaceable with the electronic transmission. So if you're carrying credit cards or debit cards or loyalty cards and passports, very unlikely that will get replaced. So one need not really worry too much on that side. Whatever lightweight we carry is something, again, which is sustainable.
Right. So just a last word on FY17. You expect it to be subdued as e-commerce is slowing down overall growth?
I think it's only you still have 9 months to go. So we believe that, you will be surprised going forward.
Right. So thank you so much for explaining us about the numbers at Blue Dart and what's the way forward going ahead. Of course, Blue Dart would be a big beneficiary of GST and the management there, explaining us that how would it change things for them. We're taking a break, coming back in 2 minutes. Focus on the corporate results season would continue. Muthoot Finance.